Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. For this video, we will be taking a look at old comic books from my stack. If you've seen my comics kwentuhan, you've seen that this comic book has been part of the conversations a lot, especially with those of the same age or younger than me, but still near my age range. So this is about Culture Crash. Culture Crash was a comic book anthology that came out during the year 2000. Uh, According to its indicia, it was released on no month, but on the year 2000. And it featured four titles. You can see the cover is Solstice Butterfly, and then it has three other titles, which we will see. Okay, so the cover, which was Solstice Butterfly, was done by Gio Beltran. And then One Day Isang Diwa, high school hijinks meet Filipino fantasy setting, was done by the publisher. It was written by the publisher James Palabay and drawn by Elmer Damaso. This one was one of the more fan favorite titles. And then Post-Apocalyptic Tale of Pasig, entitled Pasig, is done by Taga-Ilog. Okay. Melvin Calino. They probably wouldn't be happy with me showing you guys their old art. Okay. But yeah, it's part of their art journey. So this is how Culture Crash looked like. And the fourth title was Cat's Trail, a comedy fantasy story by Elmer Damaso. Okay. So if you could see that their art style is highly influenced by manga during that time. Manga, particularly anime, since it's colored. And if the format is Filipino format, which is an anthology. But instead of having just 4 pages, they have like how many pages each? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 pages each. And aside from that, it has a magazine insert as well, magazine format insert with articles like Taga-Ilog on manga, and then it has the then just released X-Men, the movie, and then Star Wars, Stephen Gately, let's see, music, as in it's a well-rounded magazine, gaming, and it introduced the staff as CCCOM fighters. They have their own avatars, which is also would be a staple all throughout the years. Also, they have a subscription. Also, tech article about the G4 Cube. Okay, I do not know if they use G4 Cube, but yeah. So that's issue 1. Then we got issue 2, issue 3, issue 4. If you would notice, all their covers, the flagship, the number 1 issue, featured Solstice Butterfly. And then the second issue featured One Day Isang Diwa. Third issue was Pasig, and the fourth issue was Cat's Trail. At the back, you could see that they would do spoofs of then magazines. This is New Typo, FHM for her magazine. And the last one was Electronic Gulay Monthly. So the spoofs for the other magazines continued until, I guess, until they got tired of it, I guess. So you could feel that the staff was having fun, and during those years, everybody wanted to work for a Culture Crash. Everybody who wanted to be a comic book creator wanted to work for Culture Crash. Issue 5, to issue 5, Rational Geographic. So they also did a spoof of that. And then one of the most interesting things that they have done would be 5.5, wherein the creators would change titles with each other. So let's take a look. So Elmer Damaso of Cat's Trail and Odid did Saucy's Butterfly, and he did it in this watercolorly sketchy style, which is awesome. More articles. They experimented with the format, with the articles in between the titles. One Day Sandiwa was done by Ilog, which was really interesting. He introduced a couple of new characters. When I'm reading this, sorry if I'm gonna be interchanging languages. Okay, nung binabasa ko to, actually, mafe-feel nyo talaga na they were having fun doing this. I mean, this is like next level stuff that you would, to break things, the routine of everything, they change titles and they put their own spin on the other people's titles, and it shows. Okay. Elmer also did Pasig, written this time by James, and hilarity ensues here, as in there's a lot of stuff going on here. And then Gio, creator of Saucy's Butterfly, did Cat's Trail, and he did a sketchy style. It's also awesome, and then everybody was rhyming and everybody was so this whole issue was great. Yes. And then you would see that they started also to showcase other Filipino talents in their fan art. Yes, the Filipino can. In this fan art section, Filipinos can send in any fan art, either of Culture Crash characters or titles, or basically anything. Actually, anything that they draw, you could feature. And what's interesting with the fan art section of Culture Crash was you could actually see a lot of comics creators right now that would have sent in their fan arts. Even me, when I wasn't part of the staff, I also sent in some fan art. So this was the introduction of Kobori Kikiam in Culture Crash. This was also done in 5.5. Taga-Canal, or Michael David's Kobori Kikiam, was introduced. This used to be self-published indie title, and now it's in this version. Now it's colored. I think this is the first time Kobori Kikiam was colored. More fan art, and even fan comics. They were featuring fan comics. Patrick Tan, Rebecca. I'm looking for anyone that is now doing comics. And then they were asking if anyone who wants strips, also you could send strips. And then one of my favorites was yung fan letters. So they did issue 6, 7, 8. So they did quite well, actually. And then issue 8 would be the last issue of Solstice, I think. Oh, okay. Issue 8 has so issue 7 was the last issue of Solstice Butterfly and Timpala, and it was replaced by Kobori Kikiam, issue 8. And Kobori Kikiam had only a few pages, if I remember. They also do this wild CCCom toy review stuff, wherein they review the toys via a comic book page, and this is actually really fun read. Fan comics, they feature a lot of fan comics before. This one is done by Marius Black, creator of Satan High. See? They also feature other creators like this one. They feature an article about other creators like Lyndon Gregorio, and more fan art. So yeah, look, Borikikim. Issue 9, Kobori Kikiam is now on the cover. And like I said, the staff would usually do spoofs of other characters dressed up. Their CCCOM staff fighter or icons or would be dressed up different. In this case, it was Mega Man. If you would see the others, let's take a look at the others. No. Okay. Right. And then see, you could see that the style is their style is gradually evolving to a more it was more simpler in the first issues, but as they progress, you could see that the style is evolving into. You could see actually their artistic progress. So this is a very fun. In issue 9, they what do you call this? They announced that they would have an event, a C3Con event, and then you could see here that they announced the contest here, the best independent comic books, and then also best costume, and character drawing contest, and best choreographed fight scene. C3Con was one of the first pop culture events that mixed anime, cosplay, gaming, and comics actually. See, you could see the progress of their art, as in more detailed, a lot of details, and now it's painted. The backgrounds are painted from graded colors. Now they do fully painted backgrounds, and now they also feature a full 8 pages of comic books, which is like awesome for new creators, and they get paid to be here, so that's awesome as well. Yeah, more fan art. Let's see. Oh, look, this one is done by Olan Amago of would-be Questor Manga Mania. A feature on Larry Alcala. And also one thing pala, marami sa mga creators na na-interview ko say that yung mga how to like this, how we write, how we draw, yung how this how to make your own independent comics is very helpful for yung mga would-be creators, and marami sa kanila na use that to make their own comics. Ano ba yan? So, nung time na to, yun nga, ito yung first C3Con. They invited, Culture Crash was very welcoming to other comics creators. Like I said, they were featuring comics creator profiles sa kanilang comics, and dun sa event nila, they invited a lot of other creators. And you could see that in this participants portfolio or program that they put together for that event. So, you'd have yung preview of the pages, that if you could see yung pages, it's fully painted na for the upcoming issue. And then profiles of the other creators that will be there in the event. Sorry if this is gonna take long, huh? So, ayan. You have After Eden, Trip to Tagaytay by Arnold Are. You got Pugad Baboy. You got Birkada by Lyndon Gregorio. Questor, see, Noperabo. I think this is done by Aldin Viray. And Ocho del Dio, this was in title that we were talking about ni Miss Bambi. Angel Ace by Marco Di Maano. Textmen by Jason Banico, Nikki Alfar, and Roy Canlas. Ground Zero by the Ronin Studios. This is the group that was that Stephen Segovia used to be part of, still part of. Yeah. Chips, and this was an independent publisher then. And Alamat, which featured Batch 72. And then there was also others like Likaan Comics. This is Shirley's Pet by Robert Magnuson, creator of Kuting Magiting. And then, yeah, some other stuff. And now I have a very rare, what do you call that? Event souvenir, a receipt, a counter receipt, 50 pesos for buying this portfolio. In that event, they also released some other merchandise. During that event, actually, medyo paubos na yung kanilang 1 and 3. So they released a graphic novel, a compilation, the first 3 chapters. Let's see that. So it collects 1 to 3. And then it has some groundworks, you can see, and profiles of the creators. Very fun. See, you could see here yung Soul Man, which was supposed to be one of the original titles. Solstice Butterfly. Okay. Groundworks for Cat's Trail. For Pasig. For One Day Isang Diwa. Some of Ilog's artworks, Gio's artworks, Memor, A Christmas Special, and the cover gallery. Another set of How We Draw. This one is also very influential, since a lot of people learned how to do color using this one. I know there was, yeah. So this was yung ang panimula, a compilation of Culture Crash. Also released during that was this was actually released during the second one. So the second C3con. Okay. So issue 11, this was issue 10. This was during I'm lost for words. This is I was already in the office when this was going out to the printers. I wasn't really part of the staff yet, but I was already in the office, so I did not do anything here. Though I am here because of I joined yung independent comics contest, and this one is done by Dennis Menese, and if you're familiar with Mangaholics, he used to draw Midnighters there. Yeah, and this is yung event program, and there is my title. I was third place in the independent comics contest. And now the tradition of yung CCCom staff dressing up as other characters started issue 8, I think. Meron na sila like who is this? This is Groups as a bat. Cobra Commander, si Canal, tapos si Destro, si Ilog, tapos Shipwreck, si Memor, si Si The Boss, tapos si Snake Eyes, si Member. So, it was really fun. That was issue 11. This was my first official issue. So, to get yung ano nyo, maybe a memorabilia that probably no one else have, which is actually destroyed now, is my Culture Crash ID. Kasi nabasa siya nung Ondoy. So, yeah. It's a scary looking ID now. So, issue 11, this is historic since this has yung first Ragnarok CD. Ragnarok Online CD by Level Up. Issue 12, ayan. Hamtaro. Issue 13. And then, issue 14. Issue 13, this was yung event, the second event next year. So, you could just imagine that we only released like 4. Oh, actually, this is 4 issues. So, it's like quarterly. So, 4 issues were released before the second event, which was quite a record, actually. So, during the second event, they released a bunch of merchandise. Sorry, I wasn't able to show you that they also released a plushie during the first event, yung Tami Tamarao, which is I never did have. I used to have a Culture Crash alarm clock na sinira ko for some reason. So, nung second event, meron namang naglabas sila ng calendar. And this one features an artwork done by yours truly. Yun yung pinaka-importante, no? Siyempre may magagandang artwork silang ginawa. Tapos, ako pinagawa nila ako ng isang artwork. So, well, gumawa ako. Well, I tried. At ito yung ginawa ko. Mga esklabo. So, yeah. And they also released trading cards. A set of trading cards, which you can get like this one. This one is still unopened. But this is how it looks like. The cards. You can see. Alright, spot. Yeah, this one. For people who know me, you know, favorite ko talaga maggawa ng cards. And this was a parang dream come true to make trading cards. But if you could look at this, kasi I was, during this time, I was courting my now wife. So, may date kami or something. Tapos, kailangan na atang ibigay sa printer itong cards. Tapos, nilagay ni David na naiwan na nagle-layout nito. Niwan ako mag-layout nitong mga cards. So, sorry yung cards. Very nice cards, actually. I wasn't able to do any artwork for the cards, or they did not want me to do any artwork for the cards. I did color some of them. Para doon sa mga naghahanap nung gawa ni Member na Tokyo M0, yan, no? Ito yun. Medyo alien talaga yung feel. Alien yung movie ni Sigourney Weaver, hindi Alien na Alien. Ito yung Soul Man, which is yung would be the other title dapat. So, yan. Yung original na fighters. And a lot more other cards. May interesting tidbit here. This Micaela card and another card was done by Diane Alonsagay, which was then an apprentice of Memor. She would eventually be an artist on Mango Jam for Twilight's Calling. Okay, so after the event was issue 14, which also featured a flip magazine featuring yung winners of the what do you call that, cosplay contest. Miss Alodia, Miss Ashley, Robert Wong, and sorry, I forgot the name of the other winner, but it's here. Yeah, I'm particularly Jerry Polense. Particularly proud of this. I laid all of this section and then the magazine of this one. So this one, Darlings of the Crowd, lot of pictures, and some behind the scenes. The also featured a gatefold cover that we call it. Yeah. So you can see that would have ang kwento sa ngayon. And more evolution of art. You can see the evolution of art, of the art. Very, very nice. And then we also have like posters in every issue, fold out posters. Like this one has poster of Jed. And now we come to the saddest issue, the last issue of Culture Crash, issue 15. This was the final issue that was released by the company. This was 2004. Yeah, I think 2004. This was 2004. This was the final issue. We were supposed to do a manga issue, a black and white issue. After this, a 15.5. So it would have been a tankobon, super thick issue. I think like 25 pages each for the creators, and even Digmaan sa Linlahi was supposed to be part of it. But unfortunately, this would be the final issue of Culture Crash. And yes, and that would end my small presentation of what Culture Crash is. And if you could see here, you would see. Enjoy Queso, Cheese, Wens Chua, my artist for Digmaan sa Linlahi was here. My wife Sherry was here. Fan art, you would see a lot of familiar names actually in the fan art section. Some of them are doing actual comics right now. Yeah. How to show bits feature on Wilson Tortosa, and I think Wilson also did the poster for this one. A very Bisojo Dante from Pasig. And that's it. This is the final issue. And after this, a lot of people were still waiting for a new issue, but it never came. And that's the end of Culture Crash. So thank you for watching. I know this has been a very slow and very long video, so I am apologizing for everyone who wished that it would be edited better with lots of graphics instead of me flipping through old comic books, but that's the extent of what I can do. So I'm sorry. I apologize in advance for those. You could still comment that this is a very long video. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, see you at the end. See you in the next videos, I guess. Bye.